The death of Diana, Princess of Wales, is marked every 31st of August since she died on the same date in 1997. This year, August 31st, 2017, marks 20 years since she passed on in a horrific road accident caused by a high-speed chase of journalists on motorbikes. This forced the car she was being driven in with her boyfriend, Dodi Faye, to crash into a concrete pillar. Diana suffered fatal injuries by a car crash in Port de Alma-Rotano in Paris, and news pages were covered by stories of death, the circumstances, the investigations, and the controversies. Barbara Kaija, a Ugandan student journalist then, now editor-in-chief of the New Vision, relives the memories and the mood in the UK.
Of course, the British people were overwhelmed with sadness. It was the talk in the supermarkets, in the homes. Everybody, we all were glued to the TV. We had to watch what was happening, the updates and everything. We didn't have as much social media now as there is now. But from TV, we were glued just to see what the updates, what happened, why did she die, and is it true she's even dead, and all those updates. So we were really glued. Every home was glued. People were actually just glued. Life came to a standstill, and the grief was overwhelming.
In the mid to late 1980s, the Princess of Wales was well known for her support and charity projects, and she is credited with considerable influence for her campaigns against the use of landmines and helping victims of AIDS. Diana was also the most famous woman in the world because of her sense of style. To many women, Diana was their fashion icon. From the dresses she wore, the way she styled her hair, makeup, and her contagious smile. Indeed, her death left many women, and fashion magazines for that matter, wondering how they could keep up without Diana's great impact in their way of life and business. As Kaija witnessed mourners flood her burial grounds in Britain, little did she think about Diana's fashion, but a mother who has left young children to survive through this world. This memory still breaks her down.
But for me, as a young mother, because my children were young then, I so much identified with her and her children from a mothering point of view. I kept looking at her children and wondering, feeling so sad that they would never have a mother. Their mother was obviously like giving them the best, and I know they've still got a good life, but I don't think it's the same. It's not the same like if their mother was alive. Yeah. So I kept thinking about how they were going to grow, how they were going to go through all this. There was all this media attention. Princess Diana never had a private moment. So I kept thinking that probably that would happen to the children and they would not have a private life. I kept wondering what would happen.
In the days following her death, a sea of flowers and tributes were left outside the gates of Kingston Palace in an enormous outpouring of public grief. Diana was buried on an island within the grounds of Althorp Park, the Spencer family home. As journalists, Kaija and her colleagues did not wait to watch the burial on TV, but decided to get into a cab to go and see for themselves.
So we were a group of journalists. We'd gone for this higher diploma course in journalism at Cardiff University, in Cardiff, with the Thompson Foundation, and we decided we are going to get into a car. We're not just going to watch it on TV. We're actually going to go to the burial ground. So. No, we didn't need an invite.
It would be a sacred place.
Yes, we never got to the grave. But obviously we go to the burial, we go to the estate. And they set it up so well. At the gate, they put a place for candles and cards and flowers. So you could take your candle and flower, have a minute there, look around and go away. We never got to the grave, obviously, but we were able to do that. So we jumped into this car, I think 5 of us. I think the British laws, actually, the traffic laws didn't allow us to wouldn't have allowed us to be 5 in a car. I think we had to have a seat belt. Everybody had to have a seat belt. But we jumped in 5 of us, typical of journalists, and we rolled off and nothing happened. The traffic didn't stop us. The traffic police didn't stop us.
At the burial grounds, Kaija remembers millions of mourners in the small village.
Obviously, her grave was in the center of in an island in the center of a small ornamental lake, which we never got to see because it was surrounded with a wall. But we stopped on the outside, talked to the people, and followed a lot of it on TV. The burial service was the funeral service. The funeral service was really emotional. It was so emotional.
What were people saying within themselves?
I remember the Earl of Spencer, that is the Diana's brother. He spoke and he said they would protect the children. They would not allow them to go through what Diana had gone through. Obviously, that resonated with so many people. He spoke of differences with the royal family, but he didn't quite nail it down. He just sort of hinted at it. Yeah, hinted at it.
Her efforts did not go in vain. After writing and sending a story about Diana's burial to New Vision back in Uganda, she says the editor then treated it as a front page story.
So when I went to the burial ground, I didn't expect that my story would be used as a page 1. So my biggest pleasure was when Mr. Wembo Joachim, who was the Sunday Vision editor then, gave me a page 1, and I was so happy when I opened my email and a friend told me, you know what, your Princess Diana story made it to page 1. It was worth every minute. Yeah.
Despite being miles away, the death touched Ugandans in equal measure. President Yoweri Museveni sent a message of condolence to the family and the people of Britain. In marking 20 years of her death, the royal family in the UK is holding a series of events. For New Vision TV, I am Ruth Nasejje.